Hello, everybody.
Hello.
The voice you hear is my young brother Wisam who in less than 5 hours will be turning 25 years old. Is that correct?
Yes, the Sam Hamid Abdul Majid Al Shaibi. Yes.
I am his older brother. Right, and I was older. We had a big gap in our age. You're turning 25. I'm going to be turning 40 soon.
I know, it's strange.
And
Today's the first day I feel like I'm not a boy anymore.
you're not little Wisami.
No, well, I guess I am always to some odd yeah, I'm little with Sammy.
But to me, do you still see me as your elder brother?
Well, yeah, I can't, you're always, I can't help it ever since I was a little kid to today, you're still this sort of grand man to me.
A who? A what? A grand...
You're like this grand figure to me.
You know, it's funny because, like, you're the first sibling that actually listened to me. Like, actually, like, paid attention to the stuff that I was talking about.
If you tell me, especially if you tell me to do something, I'll do it. And when I was younger, if you told me about some weird, fucked up shit, which is pretty much exclusively what you did, I think, for fun, I would dig into it deep.
I guess I just felt like there was something very innocent and open about you as a child, and
There was.
and I just remember like relating to that, and I remember like feeling like that you're capable of handling some heavy stuff, which is why I turned you on to. It was like the stuff that I was into when you were a kid, Naked Lunch, this kind of like harder, weirder music. That was not presented in the mainstream. Keep in mind, the 80s, like, commercial radio was really...
It's different.
It wasn't what was going on in the street. It wasn't what was going on in clubs. It wasn't what was going on with, like, what our peers were listening to. We had zines. We had Maximum Rock and Roll. We had these smaller labels.
Right. Well, I remember, like, seeing my first Maximum Rock and Roll from you, because I used to always go in your room and fiddle through your... Oh, even if you didn't have to, just go through your bag and look at all the bizarre things you had.
And just being aware that there's something beyond, like, cable TV or beyond FM. Like, being aware, like, there's this whole world. And I was very early on, like, Iowa punk and Midwest punk or American hardcore.
And you know what? That made me, when I was a little kid and I was in school, I was always the one that was introducing people to things that were so different and fucking weird. And to some people it was just too much, but to some kids they really clinged on to it. And so it made me sort of this, who do you go to when you want to find out about the weirdest, newest, most bizarre thing, music or idea or book? You go to a Sam, but that's just because I got it from you.
Right.
I mean, after, reading Naked Lunch and Cities of the Red Night when you're fucking 9 years old.
Tell the story. You read
your whole point of view of life.
Tell the story.
Well, I remember specifically with Cities of the Red Night. You gave me this book, and I remember it just had this crazy cover with all these knights and demons and dragons and penises and people fighting each other. So obviously I was attracted to it, and I started reading it, and I didn't even really understand it, but I read, about little boys and pumps in the butt, and
what did you ask your teacher?
People going through withdrawal, and I remember asking my teacher what fist fucking meant.
What grade? What grade?
That was like fourth grade, fifth grade in Iowa, Corville. Specifically, teacher, what does fist fucking mean?
But the weird thing is, I found like On the Road by Jack Kerouac in my high school, but I didn't find Naked Lunch. I had to find outside of school.
Right.
But now it seems.
For that stuff.
But isn't it weird because like Burroughs has almost become like, through the '90s and stuff, like just sort of this pop icon. Like He
Well,
like
Burroughs is very special between me and you because of, I don't know, right as you were introducing me to Burroughs is when sort of the weirder stuff in my life happened, is when I left the country with Dad and lived in Abu Dhabi, and, you know, I had these copies of Maximum Rock and Roll and Naked Lunch and Williamsburg and Cities of the Red Night and some Sonic Youth tapes.
tell me about that.
And I had them, and I had them in the Middle East. I'm pretty sure I was the only one that had that stuff.
Did it make it more sacred, this kind of material? Because you had this.
It was first of all, it was my only connection to my brother, because I had no idea what the hell you were doing at that time, and it was, you know, I mean, the Middle East was very bizarre and strange at that time, but, you know, it was just this whole new world. It was like I was almost living in Cities of the Red Night or in Naked Lunch sometimes. And, you know, you can't find Sonic Youth. You can't find fucking Evol in Abu Dhabi in 1992, you know? And so, and it was it was a very strong, it made me have a very strong connection to Usama and to you. And then when I came back, I remember you always made, when you would come to visit, you would always make special time to spend time with me. Even if it was one night, you would spend the whole night with me, and you would basically let me ask you any question about anything.
Right.
The most gross thing, you know, the stuff in our family that no one would tell me about, especially stuff like that. But even like, you know, stuff about girls. I mean,
you had a lot of.
Explain to me what semen was, and
Right.
you know, masturbation.
Right. All right. Let me just give a quick rundown. Wisam is a drummer. He is in a band called the Blackout Pact. They're signed to a major label. Who's the label?
Warner Brothers imprint called Eyeball.
And they're about to go on a European tour. This is their second release. They have a gigantic following. And Wisam, ever since I was a kid,
a cult following, a big
cult following. Ever since I was a kid, I remember Wisam had a thing for drums. Maybe my Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pixies, Butthole Surfers got inside his head. But I also blame when you're a baby, like us in Abu Dhabi, like listening to like old fucking breakdance music and like breaking and like all that very early rap and hip hop that Sammer and I were into, you know?
Yeah, the stuff that Sammer would listen to, and a lot of, I mean, like the really early rap.
Early rap that we were into was really hot and just...
The real shit. I mean, it was the real shit. I mean, I don't even know how you guys found that stuff, because
I think the Middle East was more...
was a record label yet. I mean, so I had a lot of that influence in me, and a lot of Arab, and then you take that, and you take all this Arab music, too, and it's just this big clusterfuck of influences and different things that, you know, my eyes have witnessed, you know, and it's just so strange, you know? No, this is my birthday wish. You find me some Israeli or some nice Arab girl.
I have to do this? This is my responsibility?
Yeah, well, one of these, it can be a belated present, and I got a nice golden shower.
Alright, golden shower, Israeli. Could she be Arab Israeli?
Yeah, they're hard to find.
Or do you like the Jewish girl? What about,
Swedish girl?
huh?
Did you say a Swedish girl?
Yeah, Swedish.
I don't know, are they into that type of
Oh,
stuff?
yeah, big time. Or German.
They like, well, yeah, I mean, they like all types of shit. Well, you know, or anything that's illegal in Japan, with, you know, that'd be good, too.
Alright, well,
That'd be
I'll see what I can do. Alright.
Okay.
Alright, Wisam.
I love
Happy
you,
birthday,
big brother.
sweet brother. I love you.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye, America. Bye.